complex definition. There are a million definitions, but let's call it an awareness to decision cycle, okay? If we accept that intelligence itself is not a physical property, okay, then it doesn't really matter if you produce that intelligence on carbon-based computer structures like us or silicon-based computer structures like the current hardware that we put AI on, or quantum-based computer structures in the future, then intelligence itself has been produced within machines when we've stopped imposing our intelligence on them. Let me explain. So as a young geek, I coded computers by solving the problem first, then telling the computer how to solve it, right? Artificial intelligence is to go to the computers and say, I have no idea. You figure it out, okay? So we would, the way we teach them, or at least we used to teach them at the very early beginnings very, very frequently, was using 3 bots. One was called the student and one was called the teacher, right? And the student is the final artificial intelligence that you're trying to teach intelligence to. You would take the student and you would write a piece of random code that says, try to detect if this is a cup, okay? And then you show it a million pictures. And, the machine would sometimes say, yeah, that's a cup, that's not a cup, that's a cup, that's not a cup. And then you take the best of them, show them to the teacher bot, and the teacher bot would say, this one is an idiot, he got it wrong 90% of the time. That one is average, he got it right 50% of the time. This is randomness. But this interesting code here, which could be, by the way, totally random, this interesting code here got it right 60% of the time. Let's keep that code, send it back to the maker, and the maker would change it a little bit, and we repeat the cycle, okay? Very interestingly, this is very much the way we taught our children. Believe it or not, when your child, is playing with a puzzle, he's holding a cylinder in his hand and there are multiple shapes in a wooden board, and the child is trying to, fit the cylinder, okay? Nobody takes the child and says, hold on, turn the cylinder to the side, look at the cross section, it will look like a circle, look for a matching, shape and put the cylinder through it. That would be old way of computing. The way we would let the child develop intelligence is we would let the child try, okay? Every time, he or she tries to put it within the star shape, it doesn't fit. So, that's not working. Like, the computer saying this is not a cup, okay? And then eventually it passes through the circle and the child, and we all cheer and say, well done, that's amazing, bravo. And then the child learns, ooh, that is good. This shape fits here. Then he takes the next one and she takes the next one and so on. Interestingly, the way we do this is, as humans, by the way, when the child figures out how to pass a cylinder through a circle, you've not built a brain. You've just built one neural network within the child's brain. And then there is another neural network that knows that 1 + 1 is 2, and a third neural network that knows how to hold a cup and so on. That's what we're building so far. We're building single-threaded neural networks. ChatGPT is becoming a little closer to a more generalized AI, if you want. But those single-threaded networks are what we used to call what we still call artificial special intelligence. Okay, so it's highly specialized in one thing and one thing only, but doesn't have general intelligence.